Announced in December 2017, this distinctive low-cost phone has finally made it to the UK, courtesy of Vodafone. It sports an 18:9 screen and a decent set of internals. The catch is that it's going head-to-head with the Honor 9 Lite, a similar phone from Huawei's own subsidiary. So, how does the P Smart compare? Read next. The best budget smartphones of 2018 Huawei P Smart Review. What you need to know: the P Smart is a stylish smartphone with a 5.65 inches 18:9 display. It features a dual-lens rear-facing camera, and runs Android 8.0 Oreo. Inside there's an octa-core processor, 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage. It's like a promising recipe. Before you get too excited, though, be aware that the Honor 9 Lite matches all of this, and additionally features a dual-lens front camera that results in sharper, more color-accurate selfies. It also achieved a longer battery life in our video benchmark test, and it's £30 cheaper. Read next. Honor 9 Lite Review. A great budget phone with an 18:9 display and a dual front-facing camera. Huawei P Smart Review. UK price and release date at the time of writing. The P Smart is exclusive to Vodafone. It can be found on contract from £18 per month, with a £9 upfront cost, which includes unlimited text, 250 minutes and 250 megabytes of data. From March, it'll be available on other carriers for around £229. The Honor 9 Lite, for comparison, is cheaper at £199, SIM-free and unlocked. Other alternatives in this price range include the Moto G5s, and the Nokia 6. There's also the cheaper Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X, but that'll need to be imported in from China. Huawei P Smart Review. Design. Budget phones have come a long way in terms of design. Long gone are the days of ugly bricks. The Huawei P Smart looks as elegant as any flagship handset, with rounded edges reminiscent of its older sibling, the Huawei P10. No antenna lines are visible. They smartly complement the phone's design. The P Smart comes in a range of 4 colors: black, blue, gold and rose gold, but right now only black is available in the UK. It looks tasteful, though it does tend to pick up fingerprints. On that note, Huawei has gone for a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, which I found perfectly responsive and easy to use. Keeping up with recent trends, there's also a dual-lens camera at the back with dual LED flash. At the front, a single selfie camera sits atop the elongated 5.65 inches display. At the left-hand side, there's a dual SIM slot, which will alternatively take a single SIM and a micro SD card, to add up to 256 GB of storage. At the bottom, there's a micro USB port, a 3.5mm headphone jack and a single downward-firing speaker. Read next. Honor 7X Review. The new mid-range smartphone king with an 18:9 display. Huawei P Smart Review. Display. The P Smart's 5.65 inches IPS display has a resolution of 2160 by 1080, for an aspect ratio of 18:9. This is becoming a popular shape, and it's good that you don't have to pay a premium to get it. It looks good, too. Our i1 Display Pro colorimeter measured an impressive peak brightness of 600 candelas per square meter, so you'll have absolutely no trouble viewing it even in the brightest sunlight. That's a step above even the Honor 9 Lite, which achieved 570 candelas per square meter. Colors meanwhile look vibrant, and with a contrast ratio of 1500 to 1, the P Smart makes for good video playback. I do suspect that some dynamic contrast is at work, as the brightness drops a little, to 570 candelas per square meter, when displaying colors other than white. Still, the screen isn't oversaturated, and doesn't suffer from any noticeable color shift when viewed at extreme angles. Read next. Motorola Moto G5s Review. Is this the best budget smartphone yet? Huawei P Smart Review. Performance and battery life. Packed inside the P Smart's aluminium shell is an octa-core 2.36 GHz silicon Kirin 659, partnered with 3 GB of RAM. That's plenty of power for everyday tasks and light gaming, but don't expect it to cope with graphically intense games such as Asphalt 8, Airborne. In use, Android 8.0 Oreo, with Huawei's EMUI 8 customizations, feels very fluid, and it helps that the phone doesn't come filled with bloatware. There are a few pre-installed apps, including Facebook and Instagram, but these can simply be uninstalled if you don't want them. Geekbench 4 results. GFX Bench results is the Geekbench 4 and GFX Bench benchmarks show the P Smart's performance is overall on par with other budget phones. It's some way behind the mid-priced Honor 9, but that has more powerful internals, and a 16:9 screen that means it has less work to do in the gaming benchmark. Battery benchmark or testing did throw up one disappointment. However, the Huawei P Smart's 3000 mAh battery lasted a mere 7 hours 48 minutes in the expert reviews video benchmark. That's a fair bit short the 9 hours 9 minutes achieved by the Honor 9 Lite, and even further behind the 9 hours 47 minutes of the Honor 7X. Read next. Best Phone Battery Life 2018. The best smartphones put to the test. Huawei P Smart Review. Camera for shooting in daylight. The P Smart's dual-lens 13.2 megapixel camera does a great job of capturing clean, sharp pictures. As the image below illustrates, there's plenty of detail, even in low-contrast areas. Color reproduction is good too. The distinctive light of a gloomy day in London is well represented in an image that's neither oversaturated nor washed out. Sadly, as with many low-cost phones, camera performance isn't so great in low light conditions. HDR processing helps a bit, though, brightening up the image and suppressing image noise. For example, in the image below, shot with HDR disabled, you'll see a grainy vase and lots of noise around the colorful pens at the right-hand side. Without HDR, turn on HDR and the image drastically improves. There's much less image noise and the entire scene is brighter and better balanced. HDR enabled with flash enabled, shadows and image noise are completely eliminated. Taken with flash enabled, HDR off. Around the front there's a single 8 megapixel selfie camera. It does an acceptable job, with relatively good detail and color accuracy. It's nowhere near as vibrant or sharp as the results you get from the rear camera, though. This is one big advantage of the Honor 9 Lite, which has a dual-lens 13.2 megapixel camera on the front as well as the back. Huawei P Smart Review. Verdict: the Huawei P Smart is an impressive budget smartphone. With an 18:9 aspect ratio, an attractive design, a decent set of cameras and a blisteringly quick fingerprint reader, there's lots to like about this handset. Unfortunately, Huawei seems to have shot itself in the foot by putting it up against the Honor 9 Lite. That phone, made by Huawei's own subsidiary company, has a better selfie camera, plus a longer-lasting battery. It's also arguably prettier, and it's around £30 cheaper. That makes it impossible to recommend the P Smart. It's a decent phone, but you can do better for the money.